Hey, what's up everybody? I'm KB Kwan. Welcome back to this channel. Today I'm going to make you something very special that is called Satay牛肉面. I was born in Hong Kong and I grew up in Malaysia. I know satay very well and I love satay, but the Hong Kong people has taken the satay and transformed it into a fusion cuisine, and it is different from the satay that we have in Malaysia, and because they have internalize it and transform it to something that is so much different. So in this video, I would like to show you my version of Satay牛肉面. Cut the beef into thin slices. So once we got the beef being sliced, we need to marinate the beef with a number of ingredients. This is sesame oil, pretty common, but this is a little bit uncommon. This is called Sacha in Mandarin. In Cantonese we call Sacha. It's a kind of sauce that is primarily popular in Hong Kong, Taiwan and southern China. It contains ingredients such as some dry seafood, some garlic, some chili, and you can actually read the ingredients over here. I can list it out in the description or right below the video for you, and it's pretty unique. Hope you can get this. And besides that, we also need some corn flour and a little dark soy sauce to darken the color, light soy sauce to season it, some baking soda that is essentially to tenderize the meat. If you have a good quality meat, you probably don't really need that, and a bit of wine to increase the taste, and season it with some salt. So sesame oil and the satay, which I need around a tablespoon. We're going to use that again later, and a half tablespoon, 1.5 tablespoon will do, and some corn flour to let all these ingredients stick together. You do need a lot, about a teaspoon will do. Some dark soy sauce to darken the color, okay, and some light soy sauce to season it. A little bit of baking soda, that is entirely up to you. I just put a little because this is basically to tenderize the meat. The meat that I use is quite tender. It is strip loin, by the way. And a little bit of wine. And lastly, some salt. All right. That makes everything together. Next, we need to add a few tablespoons of water to the beef. The beef will tend to absorb lots of water, so you can just keep adding. And over here is about actually 5 tablespoons of water. So I will leave it in the refrigerator and marinate it for about 1 hour, and meanwhile I'll prepare the sauce. While we marinate the beef, now I want to make the satay sauce. Now let me explain to you how to make the satay sauce before I start the whole process. First, heat up some oil, saute the ginger, garlic and the onion, and after that progressively you add other ingredients. The first one, this is the satay that I have used part of it to marinate the beef, and also you need some satay sauce together. I have some satay sauce over here. This is a Malaysian style satay sauce since I live in Malaysia. If you in Hong Kong and any other places, you may have other different versions, different brands, but this works really well. Especially I use this one for my satay. And also you need some peanut butter. If you have, you can get some crushed peanut to add into it too. And there are 2 more ingredients that you need. The first one is chili, but I would prefer to add some curry powder. I have some curry powder. If you don't, you can use some curry paste. Any curry paste will do. And the last one may not be absolutely important. This is hard-gel. This is a kind of shrimp paste. Because the satay has already have some seafood inside, so this one will be optional, but since I have it for today's recipe, I will just add a little bit into it. Okay, now since we have all the ingredients ready, let's prepare the sauce. First, add the oil to the pan and saute the onion, ginger and garlic. Then add the Sacha sauce. You can get the quantity that I measured in the description box below this video. And also the satay sauce, the ground peanut, a little bit of curry powder. If you don't have curry powder, you can use any curry paste that you have. The quantity really depends on the spiciness that you want. Also season it with a little bit of oyster sauce. Peanut butter. As I said, if you use the crushed peanut, then you may not need to use too much of the peanut butter. So I'll just add a little bit, about slightly over a tablespoon. But if you do not have the crushed peanut, you can always add more of the peanut butter. And lastly, an optional item, the shrimp paste. Heat it up and mix. Now you can start to imagine how good the taste is going to be with so many different kinds of ingredients inside the sauce. It's quite thick. Let me add some chicken broth. Now let's come back to the beef that we have marinated. Now you have the option not to stir fry the beef. Straight away add the beef to the sauce that we have made just now. I'm showing you an additional step by stir frying it first so that it actually creates more flavor. And let it sear for a short while over medium to high heat, and then flip it over. Have a quick stir fry. Now let's make a simple roux. This is just an ordinary flour, and I'm going to use the same amount of oil and mix together under low heat. And mix together by using a spatula. The reason I make the roux is because it is a thickener for soup, and in this case for the sauce. If I use corn flour to thicken the sauce will usually easily being separated into two layers after some time. But by using a roux, it will stay much longer. So we just cook it for a little while. So once it is cooked, it is done. 1 minute roux. And I'm going to add this one into the sauce to thicken the sauce. Now the final step is to return the beef back to the sauce. Not to cook too long, otherwise the beef will be then overcooked. And we cook the beef for another minute, and the satay beef is done. Okay, time to serve. Usually the satay beef will be served along with the instant noodles, as what I'm doing. Sometimes in the cafe they will serve together with macaroni. And of course you can also serve it with rice if you like. Great, that's how to make Hong Kong style satay beef for my beef noodles, satay ngao yok min. And I hope you will love this recipe. If you want to get a recipe, I've included in the description box below the video and also at the end of this video for your reference. Try that out, put it onto your favorite noodles or even as a main dish for your rice, and let me know the result in your comment, and I'll see you again in some other similar video soon. Bye for now.